Ladies and dudes, I got some good news and bad news to tell you. The good news is, I'm finally gonna do a top 6 list that nobody has never done before. And speaking of number 6, that is Benjamin Williams' most favorite number of all time. Because the reason why he loves number 6 is because there are some very important people that he cared about from his previous life. That is for sure. And now for the bad news. I gotta do my top 6 list in 2 parts. I gotta remind you now, I gotta do it in 2 parts. Because it's gonna be a long one, for sure. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop97. This is my review for today. And today I have no review, ladies and dudes, but for today's list, ladies and dudes, finally the top 6 list is finally here. The top 6 that I really want to do. That came from all 4 of my famous projects. For Orgy the Movie and the crossover of Orgy and Basilisk called the Mystic World of Basilisk. Taken 3, the redo story, and the redo Pokemon series. So yep, I'm gonna explain to you all about the top 6 most epic scenes that I really want to put on my list that came from all of my projects. So yeah, this is a top 6 list of all the scenes that I really want to make up if all 4 of my projects will ever exist. Well, one of these days, if someone will like my main ideas or not. We'll wait and see what happens. But I would love to see it happen. And yes, ladies and dudes, this is going to be one tough list to do. And there are so many scenes that we fell in love with. From romantic scenes, to funny scenes, to happy scenes, to sad scenes, to scenes that are very dark, exciting, and so much more. What else I could say? There's too many scenes to choose from. But I'm gonna pick the ones that might be the most epic ones of all. And that's my most favorite type of scenes of all time for me. I want so many scenes that involves pure epicness. Something that will wow me the most. Something that will blow my mind. And yes, like I said, ladies and dudes, in my opening, I gotta do it in 2 parts. For part 1, I gotta tell you about my honorable mentions, and 6, 5, and 4, and for tomorrow, will be 3, 2, and 1. So pay attention to that important things, ladies and dudes. It's gonna be a very long list to do. So, are you ready for what type of scenes I want to choose from all 4 of my greatest projects? The scenes that will be very darn epic to you. Are you ready? Excellent! So let's get this started. Okay. Let's head on to my honorable mentions first. For my first honorable mention will be Raichu's backstory from the redo Pokemon series. I want Raichu's backstory will be pretty darn special and interesting, about his mysterious past. From a Pichu to a Pikachu and to a Raichu and all the way to his non-mega evolution form with his grand Pokemon master, Liam. I really want his backstory to be very, very special and yet so epic at the same time. And here's something really, really interesting about Raichu's storyline. He really does believe that the Grand Pokemon Master Liam and a female Persian named Jennifer, he really believes that they are his parents. And a very odd one at the weirdest, I guess. He thinks that the cat and the human are really a real life love couple. Well, they do love each other, but not in that romantic relationship type of thing. Since he had no idea what a Pokemon and a human relationship will work. If you know what I mean. So that will be a very interesting backstory. And another honorable mention, meeting the Misfit Clan for the very first time in the Mystic World of Basilisk. And yeah, it's going to take place on episode 3. It's about when the Orgy guys had taken care of Gyobu once and for all in a very tough and weirdo fight. The Misfit Clan are going to show up in the boat, and they finally met these 5 mysterious men that came out of nowhere. And yes, the Misfit Clan are going to bring their animals. Their rats, their cats, their rabbits, and rats. And yeah, the Orgy guys had no idea what the heck's going on. But I'm just going to tell you a little bit here and there, if you know what I mean. And also, we got Paige Haley doing the breaking the fourth wall thing for both Orgy the Movie and the Mystic World of Basilisk. Yeah, Paige Haley is going to do a whole lot of fourth wall breaking here and there that'll crack us up. Don't tell Jay Gordon that I broke the fourth wall. Shh. Something that will make us laugh. Yup. Alright, let's see if there's another one. I'm trying to find it. Oh yeah, I want to see Ash Ketchum rework things out with his Pokemon from the redo story of the Pokemon series. I want Ash Ketchum to reconnect with all the Pokemon that he haven't trained for such a long time. Even the Pokemon that he decided to train, you know, to make them stronger and all that stuff. Like Goodra and Noivern and Torterra, Pidgeot. I forgot what the other Pokemon was, and also Greninja. Yeah, he has to work with 6 Pokemon that he haven't trained for a while. And the final honorable mention, Brian Mills' most lovable speech that he'll say to Lenny before the separation will happen from the redo story of Taken 3. I just want Brian Mills' speech to be very special and very darn sweet to his beloved Lenny. And since Stuart St. John is going to separate them in a very, very bad note. So those are the honorable mentions for some scenes that won't be there on the list. And now let's head on to the top 6 choices. Well, for 6-4 anyway, so let's get this started. Coming at number 6 goes to Brian and Lenny's reunion from the redo story of Taken 3. I really want Brian and Lenny's reunion to be really, really special and give us a nice, heartwarming feeling to it. And yeah, Brian and Lenny hadn't seen each other from only 1 week ago and 1 week ago only. After all, they've been separated for way too long, and thanks to Stuart St. John, he just tore them apart after all the bad stuff that happened back in LA. And now they're going to reunite again in New York City in one of those buildings that came from in the hotel. And since there was a fighting scene going on, and Lenny has no idea what to do of how to get out of there and make sure she won't see Stuart St. John again for the rest of her life. And there will be a part where Brian Mills finally showed up at long last, and they ran to each other and give themselves a hug. And they're finally gonna say, "I miss you" to each other. And Lenny starts to cry, and she told Brian Mills that she had a very, very, very bad week. And Stuart St. John had kept her in prison for such a long, long time, and she could not get out. And Lenny finally did understand what Brian Mills was trying to say to her during the time back at Taken 1. She was trapped in a bubble all this time and she could not get herself out. And yeah, Brian Mills will say a whole lot of sweet things to her to calm her down and try to make her relax and share this tear-jerking moment for each other. I just want this scene to be romantic and so darn unique, and also a very pure epic thing to the redo story of Taken 3. And that's why that moment deserves to be at number 6. Coming at number 5 goes to Oboro confronting Tenzin from the Mystic World of Basilisk. It's going to take place at nighttime in the forest, the part where Mr. Scary Man, Jay Gordon, and that no good scumbag Tenzin, they had their second round of their fight. And Jay Gordon is in trouble. He has no idea how to take Tenzin down to the count, and also he lost his sword. He was about to lose the fight. And Oboro got very heartbroken and worried that her bodyguard and her best friend is going to die in Tenzin's hands. And not until she began to notice something. And this is one of the things I really want to see for Oboro's development as a character, is her purpose. You know, getting to know what she is truly missing from herself. Something about the true meaning of having the true Iga spirit. Something, it's a foreshadowing moment. Something that both Konosuke-sama and Jay Gordon, they really want her to be who she needs to be. And that is herself. And when she began to find out what her true meaning of the Iga spirit is all about, is, you know, finding a way to be yourself and be somebody that you don't want to be, she began to snap. She released a very small sword that the Misfit clan gave her, you know, a sword of peace that won't represent any blood on the blade. Yeah, she opened it up and she confronted Tenzin for the very first time, and also she began to open up her eyes. And this is where she's gonna have her very first fight and try to defeat Tenzin once and for all, but without killing him, since we already know that Tenzin's immortal. She's gonna do her best to confront that evil madman for what the heck that evil madman had done to her from the earlier time of the Basilisk story. That's all I could say about the number 5 spot. And coming at number 4 goes to Jay Gordon is going to become the mysterious chosen one from Orgy the Movie. And yeah, that scene is going to take place in the laboratory where the Orgy guys had discovered a whole lot of weirdo stuff that's coming in that laboratory. including with that mysterious capsule with a mysterious girl who's inside of it. And all the people did their best of trying to get that girl out of that capsule for the last 500 years, but all of them had failed. And it's up to Jay Gordon to go to that capsule and find the mysterious clues of how the heck he'll find a way to get her out. And the Orgy clans are going to get really, really shocked about this. That there is something very strange when Jay Gordon is going to decide to touch the capsule for the very first time and get to know where this mysterious code is. And it has something to do with Jay Gordon is the mysterious chosen one. Somebody had chosen him to unlock that capsule and try to get the girl out for an awkward reason. And yeah, Agent Hyel's going to be there in the scene, spying on our heroes to get to know what the heck's going on with the whole thing. That's all I could say for the number 4 spot, and I have to go. I gotta start breakfast and all that stuff. So Sally, to be continued.